Hello. If you're listening to this, the day is over. Whatever it brought, the meetings, the messages, the weight of things left undone, it is over now. You made it through. Tonight, I want to take you somewhere quiet, not away from your life, just slightly beneath it, to a place where things slow down, where the noise fades just enough that you can breathe. I want to tell you about two people. They never met. They lived 1,000 years apart. One walked along a river in ancient China. One sits, perhaps, not so differently from you, tired, a little uncertain, watching the ceiling. But tonight, they will keep each other company. And perhaps they will keep you company, too. There is nothing you need to do right now, nothing to figure out, nothing to fix. Just let the story carry you. It is winter. The year is somewhere in the 11th century, in the middle of a dynasty called the Song. A boat moves slowly along a great river, through gray morning fog. On the boat sits a man in his 40s. His name for tonight is simply the Scholar. He has ink-stained fingers and tired eyes, and he is watching the riverbank as it passes. Bare willows, muddy water, a small town coming slowly into view. He had left the capital 3 weeks ago, or perhaps it was 4. The days on the road had begun to blur together. Cold mornings, dusty paths, the slow rhythm of the river carrying him further from everything familiar. The town is called Huangzhou. He has never been here before. He did not choose to come. Until very recently, this man moved in the highest circles of the empire. He wrote poems that made the emperor laugh. He argued in court with calm, clear logic. He had a salary, a title, a home in the capital, colleagues who respected him. Then, because of words he wrote, because of opinions he held, because powerful men decided he was inconvenient, all of it was taken away. Not violently, just quietly removed. His title still exists, technically, but it carries no salary, no duties, no meaning. He is permitted to live in this small riverside town. That is all. The boat docks. He steps onto the muddy bank with his oldest son beside him. His wife and the rest of the family will follow in a few months. A local official greets him with polite discomfort. The kind people show when they don't know how to treat someone who used to be important. They find him a room, small, cold. The wall faces north. At night, he can hear the river. He lies on the narrow bed that first night and stares at the ceiling. He is not sure exactly who he is now. Somewhere in 2026, in a city that hums with electricity and motion, a person sits at a desk. The hour is late. The apartment is quiet. The blue light of a laptop screen reflects in their glasses. They are rereading an email. It arrived that afternoon from an address with the company's domain. It was politely worded, professionally formatted. It used words like restructuring and evolving business needs, and we are grateful for your contributions. And somewhere in the third paragraph, your role has been eliminated. They close the laptop. The room does not change. The city outside does not change. Somewhere below, a car passes. Someone is laughing. The world continues, indifferent and intact, as if nothing happened. But something happened. They sit with it for a while. The particular stillness that comes after news like that, not peaceful, just empty. The way a room feels when a sound has just stopped. They think about what to tell people. They think about what comes next. They think about whether there even is a next, whether something like them, with skills like theirs, will have a place in what the world is becoming. The ceiling offers no answers. The city hums on. Winter passes slowly in that small riverside town. The scholar counts his money carefully, very carefully. Each month, at the start of the month, he divides what little he has into 30 equal portions. He hangs them from a beam on strings, 30 small bundles, and each morning he takes down one. That is all they have for the day. No more. He walks a lot. Along the river, into the hills, through the market, where the local people glance at him with quiet curiosity. He meditates in a Buddhist temple until his legs ache. He writes letters to his brother, long letters full of things he can only say to someone who has known him his whole life. Then, in the second year, a friend does something kind. He arranges for the scholar to use a piece of land, 8 acres of hillside, just outside the city. It had been abandoned, dry, overgrown, asking nothing of anyone. The scholar goes to look at it on a gray afternoon. He stands at the edge of the slope, looking at the hard earth, the yellowed weeds, the faint outline of what might once have been a field. He is not a farmer. He has never held a hoe with serious intention. His hands are made for brushes and scrolls, not this. But he buys a farming ox anyway. He talks to the old men in the village about when to plant, how deep to dig, what the soil needs. They speak to him plainly, without ceremony. They don't know or care about his old titles. He is just a man who needs to learn something. He finds he doesn't mind this. He works the land through the cold mornings. His back aches. His hands blister and then harden. The ox is slow and sometimes stubborn. The first planting is uncertain, the ground too dry, the season too late, but he keeps going back. He names the slope the eastern slope, and quietly, without announcing it, he begins to call himself by that name. Not the scholar anymore. Not the former official. Not the exile. Just the man of the eastern slope. Something about the land helps him breathe. The soil doesn't know who he used to be. The rain falls on him the same way it falls on everyone else. There is something in that, something almost like relief. Weeks pass, then months. The person in the apartment begins to move through their days differently. At first, the days feel wrong, too long and too shapeless, full of hours that don't know where to go. They apply to things. They scroll. They sit in coffee shops and try to look purposeful. They watch other people going to work and feel a quiet shame they don't know what to do with. But slowly, so slowly they almost don't notice, smaller things start to come back. The light in the kitchen in the morning, the way it falls across the table at a particular angle they never had time to notice before, the sound of rain on the window, the satisfaction of cooking a real meal slowly without checking a phone. Small things, quiet things. They start taking walks. Not for productivity, not to hit a step count, just to be outside, to move, to let the city wash over them without needing to perform anything for it. One evening, sitting by the window, they find themselves thinking about what they actually liked, not what they were good at, not what paid well, not what impressed people at dinner parties. What they actually liked, what made time disappear. They sit with the question for a long time. It's harder than they expected. 1,000 years away, a man scratches at dry earth with an unfamiliar tool, learning to read the sky for rain. He is also learning something about what he actually is, beneath all the things he used to be. Neither of them has answers yet, but both of them are still here. And that turns out to matter more than they thought. One afternoon in spring, a man of the eastern slope goes out with some friends. They are walking along a path between the fields when the sky opens. Rain comes suddenly, hard and fast, clattering through the leaves of the bamboo groves that line the road. His companions panic a little. They had sent the umbrellas ahead with the servants. They pull their robes over their heads. Hurry, look for shelter. But the scholar stops. He stands in the middle of the path, rain running down his face, bamboo stick in his hand, straw sandals on his feet, and he does not move. He listens to the sound of the rain in the trees, the percussion of it against 10,000 leaves, the smell of the earth opening, the cold, clean air. His friends call back to him. Worried, he waves a hand. He's fine, more than fine. When the rain passes and the sun comes out, slanted and warm through the last gray clouds, he walks on, unhurried. That evening, he picks up his brush and writes. The words come the way things come when you are no longer trying to impress anyone. Listen not to the rain beating against the trees. Why not walk slowly and sing? He writes about his bamboo stick and his straw sandals, about how they carry him better than any horse ever did, about how a simple raincoat is enough for a whole life. Turning back to look at where the storm came from, I go home, neither wind and rain, nor sunshine got just this. Let those words settle for a moment. Neither wind and rain, nor sunshine. Not the good times, not the hard times. Not the old life, not the exile. Beyond all of it, just the walking, just the path underfoot, just the sound of the rain when it comes, and the warmth of the sun when it returns. Just this. In the apartment, the person has fallen asleep in their chair by the window. At some point in the evening, the rain began, soft, steady, city rain, and they didn't close the window. They let it come. The sound of rain on a windowsill in 2026. The sound of rain in a bamboo grove in the 11th century. 1,000 years apart. The same rain. You have carried enough today. Whatever you lost, whatever shifted, whatever felt like the ground moving under you, you are still here. And being still here, it turns out, is where everything begins. The man of the eastern slope learned that in the mud, not in the rain, on a hillside that didn't know his name, let your shoulders fall, let your breath slow. Let the rain if there is any, come in a little. Neither wind and rain, nor sunshine, just this. Just rest.